Shadow Secretary of State Andrew Gwynn.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I'd like to begin by thanking honourable and right honourable colleagues for their contributions from across the House. It's usually the convention to mention them by their contributions, and I apologise with the time restrictions that have been placed that isn't possible. But I would also like to pay tribute to all who work in our social care services, whether in the NHS, in our councils, or paid or unpaid carers. Madam Deputy Speaker, we've been here before. I've got that sense of déjà vu. It was only April when we called for immediate action from the government to address the crisis in social care. And yet here we are, months later, and no progress. Since then, we've had a new health secretary, a new communities secretary, but no new ideas, and still no green paper. There is only so much longer this sector can wait. And despite the lack of support from government, and in the face of year-on-year cuts, local government has been forced to step up. With the Cabinet too busy squabbling amongst itself, and in the absence of any government action, it's the Local Government Association who've published their green paper on social care. And it's worth the government considering some of the responses this consultation has received. According to the District Councils Network, the adult social care crisis is, and I quote, the single largest problem facing local government and their financial sustainability. I will give way.
Local government green paper. In that, it also commends Bristol City Council for its Well Aware project. Will he join me in congratulating Bristol on that online telephone advice and guidance service which has proven so busy? And will he come and visit Bristol, or the Minister visit, to see how it works in practice?
Absolutely. I'm always happy to visit my honourable friend's city of Bristol and to see the great work that they are doing in very difficult circumstances. Labour local government leading the way and making a difference where it matters. But, Madam Deputy Speaker, the LGA estimates that adult social care services face a £3.5 billion funding gap by 2025, just to maintain existing standards of care. But councils in England receive 1.8 million new requests for adult social care a year. That's the equivalent of almost 5,000 extra cases a day. It is a national scandal, and the government should feel rightly ashamed that 1.4 million older people are now not getting the necessary help to carry out essential tasks, such as washing themselves and dressing. That's 20% more people without care than only 2 years ago. And one of the people experiencing adult social care said of their provision, I haven't washed for over 2 months. My bedroom floor has only been vacuumed once in 3 years. My sheets have not been changed in about 6 months. And my pyjamas haven't been changed this year. My care workers don't have the time for cleaning, washing or changing me. These words are taken from a report by the Care Support Alliance into the state of care in this country. And it makes for heartbreaking reading. But so far, we've yet to see a minister even acknowledge that a crisis in local government funding even exists. We introduced the social care levy, said the Secretary of State for Health. No, you enabled councils to raise more council tax in a limited way, but a 1% increase in his council's council tax raises a very different amount to a 1% increase in my area, widening the inequalities, widening the unfairness. And, Madam Deputy Speaker, the Health Secretary's big announcement at Conservative Conference of an extra £240 million emergency funding for adult social care should not be celebrated. It should be a source of shame, because it's the Conservative leader of West Sussex Council. He summed up the response to this announcement. I'm not skipping around. I'm really cross about it. It's half a crumb. It's not even a crumb. And earlier this year, the former Secretary of State for Health, made a candid admission to the British Association of Social Workers. He accepted his share of responsibility for the lack of progress since the Tories entered government in 2010. The crisis is as a result of this government's policies. Our Prime Minister has given up. Our councils are at breaking point. But the government remains committed to its programme of cuts, taking £1.3 billion extra funding out of local government next year. Let that sink in for a moment. It's now being reported that close to half of council heads are seriously worried of impending bankruptcy in their councils. This should send shivers down the spines of government. And one of those chief executives surveyed by the LGC said, and I quote, "The next 3 years are secure if we can manage the demand in adults and social services. A complete lack of policy means that even with a well-run council and relatively strong local economy, we are likely to start to significantly struggle in 2021-22. This is the reality, Madam Deputy Speaker, and that's why I commend our motion to the House."